know, man. I never been to the podium. This is awesome. No, I haven't. Think about it. In season, have you ever seen me at the podium? Never. 5 years. This is awesome. This is awesome. I know. Don't ruin it by asking me a bunch of nonsense questions, okay? Do not ruin this moment for me, please. Don't ruin this moment for me. Ask me good questions. Go. Everybody said Roy. Go. Roy, you know what? You can go first, man.
Gerald, what kind of shirts do you like to wear?
You know, I prefer to go shirtless, but, you know, the general public prefer it. You know, they prefer that Gerald wears clothes. So my wife does too. So I have to wear shirts, you know.
Is that how this league can be? A team can be 0-3, think it has all sorts of problems, win, and suddenly you're a game out of first place. Is that this division, this league?
That's the league, man. This year it just so happens to be this division. But that's how the NFL works. Any given year it could be any division, you know, where go 0-3, win one game, and now you one game out of first place. It's how the NFL works, man. That's why I always say you can't, you know, sulk and sit in a loss. You just got to keep fighting and work to get a win and just keep moving forward, and anything can happen.
Gerald, you guys had 5 sacks against Roethlisberger. He's
Right.
a guy that will hold the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And credit to you guys for getting him down. Is Breeze, since you've played him so many times, is there certain quarterbacks that are more of a prize just because they're not going to give you much time to get there?
Yeah, you know, Drew, he'll definitely get the ball out. And he's very crafty. I mean, you can get your hands on him. He's one of those guys that flip the ball, you know, a backhand, or throw it over his head, you know, doing trick passes and stuff in the middle of trying to get him on the ground. But another thing is he just doesn't hold the ball, you know. And so, you know, getting your hands on Drew is definitely, you know, always a good feeling.
The last 2 years, Gerald, you went into that building with your defense, and especially last year, I think you had 320 yards at the half and 4 touchdowns. You know, it looked like it was going to be a record-setting day. What was that feeling like last year?
You know, it's been ugly the past couple times going in there. Definitely not what you want. Drew Brees is a Hall of Famer, but I've seen different defenses get to him and rattle him and make him have a bad day. We have to do that. It's going to start with us in the middle. You know, he's a shorter guy, so we have to get in his face. We have different packages where we'll get taller guys in the middle, you know, try and get our hands up and, you know, just pressure him. The big thing is to get him off the spot, you know, and then it's a rush and coverage combo after that. But we definitely have to get him off the spot. He likes to throw from a certain spot. He has a certain step-up spot he likes. We have to get him off of that and get him uncomfortable.
Gerald, after a full game of getting that hand banged around, how does it feel?
Hand feels good, man. It's definitely still broken, but hey, it's the NFL, man. And you know, one thing I will say is the fans. You know, but after the Atlanta game, the fans was like, "Man, we really need Gerald back." And then after playing in Pittsburgh, the fans was like, "We really appreciate his effort out there with one hand." So nobody was like, you know, we don't feel bad for you, just play. You know, the fans actually, you know, had some type of feelings. But yeah, it's definitely healing, and but it's, you know, it's just a day-to-day process.
Do you envision playing with that protective cast on there the rest of the season?
No.
Just as a precaution?
No. As soon as I get cleared to play without it, I will.
You had said before, the fans, they had given you a little bit of flack, the fact that you weren't out there playing against St. Louis.
Fans want to see us win. They just want to see us win. As soon as we got to win, you know, I did say all it takes is one win and things will start changing. The fans, they finally got to see you know, a 1 in the win column, and all the mindsets and comments started to change. It's a great feeling. It's very contagious, and we want to keep that going.
Gerald, how's the atmosphere in the locker room this week compared to last week after you've got to win? A lot more confident?
Yeah. You know, you just building off that momentum. We got a lot of momentum going into New Orleans. A lot of guys were not here last year or the year before, so they don't know what has happened the past couple of years going into New Orleans. But a couple guys like myself, DeMar Dotson, Daquan Bowers, you know, Levante, we were there. So, we got to feel it. So we just kind of been letting those guys know this is what's been happening the last couple of times we've been in that building. And they play really, really, really well at home. So we got to be on it. No letdown. We can only go up from here.
You talked about the play of Michael Johnson last Sunday and just how big those sacks and that forced fumble was.
Mike, I always said that once Mike gets comfortable, he's going to be a force. And, he's still playing. He's not even 100%. But you kind of got a glimpse of what he can be if he's at 100. He just played, really carefree. Didn't really, wasn't worried about anything. He just knew his assignment and he just went. And he's very athletic, got a lot of ability, and it showed, on Sunday. And I've been talking to him, and he's just going to keep going from here, just keep building off that.
What do you think, like last week, for you guys as a team, what do you think got you in this sort of, expected winning mode, if you will?
I talked to a couple of guys, and I don't know if anybody's seen the America's game, the 2002 with the Buccaneers. It was that and the I think it's called Relentless, maybe with Sapp, his Hall of Fame documentary, and they told the story about going on the road against San Diego. Well, I talked to Levante and a couple of guys that told him that story, and I kind of told them what Sapp and Brooks, that decision they made that day, and I told them that has to be us. Nobody's thinking we can win. This is, the terrible Towels, the historic Pittsburgh Steelers. Nobody's expecting us to win. Let's go out there and change that, and if people think we the worst team in the NFL, that's awesome. We keep thinking it.
You guys held the Steelers to 11 yards and 10 carries in the ground in the second half.
Uh-huh.
You did a good job in the first half, and the second half was stellar. What contributed to that?
Just finishing. Besides the Atlanta game, the first two losses came down to finishing the game, and just having to make plays on defense and giving our offense a chance. And regardless of how many times we had to do it, we knew that they wanted to run the ball. We knew they had two dynamic running backs, but we knew if we could get them, make them one-dimensional, we had a shot. So it was really just guys doing their assignment, getting our blocks and rallying to the ball.
Gerald, last week in the locker room, everybody was saying, Atlanta game's behind us. All we're thinking about is the Steelers. A week later, Gerald, was that really true? And how much did that Atlanta game motivate this team last week?
Oh, well, it definitely motivated us. But, when we got those extra days off, we really did put it behind us. Besides being asked about it, nobody really brought it up. It was just one of those reality checks, like we're 0-3. We were here last year. We can't keep allowing this to happen. But it definitely was an eye-opener. Like, we already 0-2. Then you go and allow this to happen. We can't keep this going. So after that weekend, we really let it go, and it was on to Pittsburgh.
I'm sure, in much the same way you put losses on you, to a certain extent, you win, you have a good time, and then you move on.
Uh-huh.
What does this defense need to do better going forward? What does this team need to do better going forward to keep this up?
We have to be more consistent with our rush and coverage combo. There's times where you see the rush but not coverage, times where they're covering and we not getting to the quarterback. One of our Achilles heels right now is covering tight ends. We have to be better at that. But the rush can help that. Somebody has to win early, and it can make the quarterback make a bad throw to where if the tight end is open, somebody either is getting their hands up or getting the quarterback off the spot, making them make a bad throw. And then on the back end, guys being in the right spot, covering that tight end. I mean, what better week to do it than this week? Number 9 and number 80 over the past 5 years is, that's been a huge combo. So we got to be on it this week.
You said at the beginning of the year that you were still learning the cover two and this defense.
Yeah.
How do you think at the quarter pole you're doing in that, and how's the team doing in terms of learning this defense? Because it's not that simple.
No, it's really not. And just simple things like I said about covering the tight end. And, we know that there are going to be holes in the Tampa 2. It's just reality. Even over a course of all those years, when Coach Gruden got here, he pointed something out that they had been getting beat with, the boot. So, I mean, there's always room to learn. And I think personally, me, I'm starting to get a pretty good feel of what I can and can't do, who's behind me, what coverage we're in, to know if I can take a risk, whether I can just think simply pass on this play, and if it turns a run, just play it late. I think I'm starting to get a pretty good feel, but there's still a little bit more, I have to learn. But us bringing it all together, I think over the first 4 games, it really came together the most this past game, but it can be tons better.
How could a win Sunday, Gerald, energize this fan base when coming back for a home game?
Yeah, I talked about that in the past couple of weeks on my radio show, man. The fans just want to see a winner. So going on a 2-game win streak coming home, I mean, I personally believe we'll have a sold-out crowd. Baltimore coming in, that's a huge game, especially coming off a 2-game win streak and coming back home. I would hate to be the opposing team, because I know how crazy our fans are going to be. And, this league is a game of momentum. Once you get on the roll, it's hard to stop anybody once they get rolling. So it'll be huge, but we gotta get after number 9 first.
Thank you. Nice job. Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
Great job.